and welcome in to Week 16. I hope you're playing for something important this weekend. Got Mr. Eric Harms riding shotgun today, helping us get our lineup set, hopefully to maximize our points this week, get us into our Week 16, get us through our Week 16 matchups into our championship weeks. Eric, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing this morning, Jeff?
Very good, very good. Kind of interesting. Before the show, we were kind of talking a little bit, Eric. We've got kind of an interesting week. We've got 6 teams that have already played between the Thursday night and the Saturday games. And then in many leagues, probably 2/3 of the leagues are already eliminated. So it'll be kind of interesting to see the questions, the decisions that we're going to have to help our listeners make. And then also just kind of the volume too, just because of, there's a lot of teams not playing for anything anymore. So hopefully that's not the case. And if you've been listening to us this year, we got you where we need to be, and we can keep that going. If you are short on time, super chats are available. Those will jump to the front of the line. And let's get started, Eric, here this morning. You got some good questions already in the queue. First one is coming in from there we go. James is asking, thanks for the help all year. In a 2-point for a solo, 1 point for an assist, 5 points for a sack league. Which 2 linebackers here, Eric? We got Eric Kendricks, who's kind of coming in banged up. Terrell Bernard, Ed McFadden here. So what are your thoughts on this?
I think on this one, obviously Bernard. I want Bernard in my lineup. And then it's between Kendricks and McFadden. And that really depends on your risk aversion in this week. If you want the potential boom of Kendricks, assuming he plays, I would go with him. But if you're worried about him being the Sunday night game and potentially, being questionable and limited, I could see going with McFadden just to make sure you have the points there. I think Kendricks will play, but I just don't know for sure.
Here, yeah. And he was kind of like a DNP most of the week. He did get a limited practice in on Friday. He's kind of got that veteran savvy. He doesn't need to practice all week to play. So James here, just like Eric said, if we're looking at a situation where we're feeling pretty safe, confident, go Bernard McFadden. If you need a little bit of some upside this week to maybe knock off your opponent and get into Week 17, maybe Kendricks is a play. Maybe check the wire to see like if a Damone Clark is available, just as like a pivot in case he's not. Kendricks doesn't suit up. I know that Martise Lufou is probably already added on mini leagues, so he's probably not an option there. But just check to see if you need to have somebody to pivot to. I know there aren't many options after that. Maybe an Eric Wilson. We know that Quay Walker is already ruled out for the Monday night game, so maybe you roll with Kendricks. And then if he doesn't play, Eric Wilson played 100% of snaps when Walker left the game, so that could be an option there. Yep. So, and then this next one, pretty easy for us here, James. We're going to go with Rousseau as our defensive lineman over Sweat, Verse, and Hill this week. So best of luck to you, James. Hopefully that helps you out. Sebastian, good friend of the show, is on with a question here. Good morning. Rashawn Gary, Leonard Williams, Zach Sealer, and DJ Woonem. Eric, who you got?
Typically, I like to go edge over interior most of the time. Gary's been playing real well lately. I would stick Gary in my lineup of these 4 pretty easily, I think.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I love the idea of playing the outside guys. And Gary, like you said, has been heating up. He's got like 4 or 5 sacks over the last 6 games, so he's definitely been heating up. The New Orleans Saints are all sorts of banged up. They're down a quarterback. They're down 2 wide receivers, a tight end. Alvin Kamara is not playing this week. So, I expect that game to be kind of ugly early. And then, they're just pinning their ears back in 3rd, 4th quarter and just coming after Spencer Rattler this week. So Sebastian has a question for the defensive backs, and we're expecting probably a lot of Dane Belton questions today just because of his breakout game last week, kind of stepping in and had a great game for the rookie that ended up on IR, Tyler Nubin. Got Dane Belton, Cameron Bynum, and Quinton Lake. So pretty fantastic options here. Who you got, Eric?
Don't call me a homer. Dane Belton was always a good box player in college, all the way back to the days at Iowa. But it's kind of a tough one for me. But I do like Belton's role the best, and in that offense or in that defense with that matchup this week. It's a real good matchup for him. So it's a better matchup than what Lake has. So I would go with Belton here.
And I'm with you. I've been on Lake all season long, but he does get a pretty tough matchup with the Jets this week. I don't think that the Jets are the team we saw last week. I think they're going to kind of regress towards the medium, and I think we're going to see that. But Belton does get a really nice matchup versus Atlanta, and I do want to throw a little caution here because this isn't the same we've seen all season. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Michael Penix under center. So I still think he plays a great role, and they're gonna run the ball a lot. So I think he's gonna get a lot of box snaps. Seen a lot of Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier today. Carter needs a defensive lineman here between your favorite Byron Young and Yaya Diaby this week. Eric, who are you going with?
You know who I'm not going with. I've been against playing Thibodeau pretty much all year, unless you don't have any other better options, which is pretty rare for me. I compared him to Leonard Floyd early or before the season, and I think I would still rather have Leonard Floyd. But for me, it's between Byron Young and Yaya Diaby. I have them real close on my ranks, but I think I would lean slightly to Diaby this week. The Cowboys.
And I'm with you here. It's got a really nice matchup.
Yep.
Yeah. How close is it, Eric, for you with Byron Young in there? Is he in the conversation or not quite yet?
He's in the although with the Jets, Fashanu has been playing quite a bit better of late at tackles, so that makes a little bit of a difference for the Jets because their line hasn't been great this year, but he's been stepping up lately. So he's close for me in my rankings, but I'd go with Diaby.
All right. Carter's next question. He's got kind of a interesting lineup here with he could go with a fourth linebacker or pivot to flexing another safety here. So Eric, we were kind of talking a little bit before the show. We're not like totally in love with any of these linebacker options, and he does have some pretty solid options at safety here. So we were actually thinking we're going to go with Lake for sure. We're going to go with Battle for sure, and then Bynum. And we're hoping that Harrison Smith, it's kind of ruled out for this one because that would obviously help Bynum's chances. But we still like Bynum regardless if Harrison Smith is in or out. We just would like it a little more if Harrison Smith decides to take the week off. So that's where we're going to go, Carter, for the defensive back questions. Yes, you're most welcome, Carter. Thanks for questions all season long. Hopefully you are back next week. And even if you're not, you can come back and ask some questions. So Charlie Alpha Bravo, good morning. Happy week 16. TJ Edwards, Foyo Luakan, Eric Hendricks, Jewel, or David. So an embarrassment of riches here at the linebacker position for Charlie Alpha Bravo. Eric, who's your flavor here?
I'd lean Edwards. You got, like you said, you have a lot of good options here. I like the matchup against the Lions, who like to run the ball. Although with Montgomery out, I guess we'll see what that still looks like. But I still think they're running the ball a lot. Jewel also has a good matchup. But gosh, it just like you said, an embarrassment of riches there. But I would lean Edwards in this group.
Yeah, I love the matchup, and you have to feel game script here. We know that Montgomery's not available this week, but that's still Detroit's going to run the ball. They're committed to it. Craig Reynolds is he's a proven running back in the NFL. He's done it before, so I'm going to expect to see a lot of that. So yeah, I like the Edwards call here. So Eric, just out of curiosity, if you were to rank who'd be your top three out of this group in case he needs to make a lineup decision here based on that?
Edwards, I think a Luakan, and then Jewel.
That's just
David's
how I had him.
Close, but yeah.
Yep. Yeah, David is a 3B to Jewel's 3A for me. Kendricks is usually going to be up in that conversation, but just that late game and that risk of him not possibly playing or getting injured, those I think he's got a calf injury. Yeah, he's got a calf injury. So I would hate to get him out there and play 5 snaps and then the sixth snap is his calf muscle. So don't want to do that. JP, with EJ Speed out, who do you think fills in? Grant Stewart? Thank you. So this is a situation we're kind of avoiding. Stewart did play a lot of snaps, but then they've got Churlis coming off of IR this week, and he was kind of actually playing ahead of Stewart previously, so we don't really know how that's all going to play out and things like that. So unless it's a super deep league and you're super desperate, this is just a situation we're trying to avoid. Check your waivers. Like I mentioned before, like Eric Wilson for the Packers going to step in for Quay Walker, very low roster percentage. Wore the green dot last week, so he could definitely be an option. So JP, if you're around, if you want to throw us some options, maybe on your waiver wire, but we're just not feeling it on this Indy linebacker core this week outside of Zaire Franklin. Eric, unless you have something different or something you're seeing or hearing.
I'll just add that I would lean, if you had to take one of them, Stewart or Carly's, I'd probably go with Stewart just because of the injury for Carly's. But
yeah, coming back off IR, they might
if you're in a really deep league and that's all you can do is pick up one of these guys, then I guess that's probably the way I would go, and then start praying.
Yeah, this the Indy situation, and then Tennessee is also kind of a dicey one too. There's all sorts of banged up. Gifford's already ruled out. Murray's questionable to play. And then there's the whole James Williams. There's the Jerome Baker, and then Otis Reese too. So just a mess there. So hopefully, JP, you can get us some options, and we'll help you out there. I got some quarterback questions for Andrea. We got Kyler Murray or Goff. I'm pretty easily going to go Kyler Murray here.
Yep.
Way better matchup, I think, than so we're going to go with Kyler Murray there. And then he's got another quarterback question. Oops, why is that showing up? There you go. Jaden Daniels or Goff. I'm going to go Jaden Daniels in this one. Just that rushing upside. I think that game in Detroit and Chicago could be over pretty easily, so it might be a lot of run-heavy stuff. So, and if I was ranking the three of them, I would go Jaden Daniels, Murray, and then Goff for all of them. So,
agree.
Art has a defensive line question: Myles Garrett or Ed Oliver this week. So, I have a hard time sitting Myles Garrett anytime. So,
yep, slam dunk to me.
Best of luck. Yep. Chef Curry, AKG or Caden Ellis this week. So Caden Ellis had a fantastic game last week. Got a sack, so he coming on a strong performance. He does get the Giants this week, which isn't a great matchup for opposing linebackers, so that could probably be a slight downtick, but he could be pass rushing and get a sack for us again this week. So who are you thinking here, Eric?
I like Ellis over AKG. They're as you said, Ellis will also do some blitzing. So if he doesn't have quite the tackle floor of usual playing against the Giants, then maybe he gets in for a sack. AKG did get more tackles than Pratt last week, but I don't know that that'll continue. I would go with Ellis.
Yeah. Yep. Keep your studs going.
Mm-hmm.
Ant needs two in a PPR heavy league. I don't know how many
heavy tackle
PPR points our linebackers are going to get for us this week, but we're going to go with a combination of Jewel, McFadden, or Dean. So
it's between Jewel and Dean for me. I got them right close. I have Dean slightly ahead of Jewel. I think I would go with Dean this week.
He gets two of those, Eric. So
two. Well, it's that's easier. Jewel and Dean.
Jewel and Dean. Yep. Agree. All right. Good luck to you. And Z51 has these linebackers, and he needs to sit two of them. So of the 6, who are we sitting? Edwards is in for sure. Wagner is in for sure. He has a great matchup. Spillane and Foy.
In.
Edwards. I'm going to sit Kendricks and Davis Gaither.
Yep, I agree.
Yep. Good luck to you, Z51. Hope to see you back next week. MDH need to have 2 linebackers with upside. Bernard Ernest Jones saves Christmas. Bobby Wagner, Gaither, and Kendricks and White.
I think for me, it's Bernard. He seems to get into some big plays occasionally. Has a decent floor. And then who are you thinking? Who are you thinking between Ernest and Wagner?
I love Wagner's matchup this week
Yeah.
with Philly. I think they're going to run the ball. He's going to have a really high safe tackle floor. Wide receivers are kind of banged up in Philly. You know, Brown's kind of banged up. So I can see him running heavily on the ball. They want it. You know, I know that the coaches always say they don't look at the records and stuff like that, but they would love to get Barkley that rushing title, you know. So I think that that's going to be a close one. So I'm going to go with Jones here, or Wagner, excuse me. So we're going to go with Bernards and Wagner for the upside here. Kendricks is just too risky. Gaither doesn't have that big flash. Kaiser White's been playing pretty well the last couple of weeks, but getting that Panthers team, I don't know how many offensive snaps that team is going to run. I was really trying to figure out a way to get Ernest Jones in there, but Minnesota just hasn't been a great matchup for opposing linebackers lately. So that's probably going to make me lean towards Bernard and Wagner.
Kind of middle of the road.
Yep. All right. Connor has a question. Linebackers are hit by injuries, must start 3 normal IDP scoring, 12-man, 42-man rosters. That is what we love to hear. Whew, those are some rough names. You must have got decimated by injuries, my friend. Congrats on still being here. All right. James Williams is a name we mentioned earlier. He would be an auto start if Murray and or Baker are ruled out. If one of those two are ruled out, James Williams is going to be a start for me there. With already Luke Gifford already ruled out, I think he becomes a flashy play. And he's got some really weird, neat upside, too, with his defensive back designation in many leagues. So after that, Eric, we still need 3 more. We got John Radigan, Nate Landman. Maybe Stewart just becomes an auto start there for us.
It's very rough.
That is rough. You're right.
Landman was losing playing time last week.
Yep.
He scares me. I mean, if you just need guys that are going to score some points, I think is where we're at here. I'm going
to look up Cleveland here. I just want to see how many snaps Bush is actually getting.
I think Stewart I would put in there.
Yep, I'm with you there. Yeah, Devin Bush, that's gross. He's playing less than 40% of snaps. This is tough, man.
None of them are going to get much more than that. Landman didn't play more than that last week, I don't believe. I think he was in the 30s.
All right, so we're looking at Williams and Stewart, so we need one more here.
Yeah.
What's Radigan looking like?
He's Bills, right? Am I wrong there? No. Panthers.
That is, Panthers, yeah. Well, they did just put 2 guys on IR in Carolina. They did put Churliss and Trevin Wallace on IR.
So he might be getting 40-50% role next to Jewell.
Is Cam Gill their guy?
Yeah.
These are the leagues we love to play in, Connor. So this is a great exercise for us. I'm going to probably lean Williams, Stewart, and Landman this week. They're probably the best chance for snaps.
I did go this deep when I was going through and moving people around and ranking them. I have Radigan. I have him a little ahead
of Landman.
Just, gosh, it's like doing a dart throw though.
It is.
He's got a better matchup. Landman has the matchup against the Giants, and if he doesn't get a higher snap count than he got last week, I think I would risk it on Radigan. I think I'd go with Williams, Radigan, and Stewart.
Stewart.
I think so.
All right, Connor. There
Good
you
luck.
go. There's our
Good luck,
best
Connor.
bet, man. We love
That's
it.
going to
We
be an
love to see-
entertaining
we love to
day.
hear back. Yep. Chip in a
I love
chair,
it.
right? Isn't that what it is? Chip in a chair.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. Travis has got two defensive backs here to pick from between some pretty good options. Ugo Amadi, Quentin Lake, and Dane Belton. So Belton seems to be our flavor of the week. We've been a little down on Lake's matchup here. And I don't know, Amadi on Monday night versus the Packers, he might be their only defensive player out there playing, So I know he doesn't get a lot of, they probably won't need to throw a lot, but he still plays a lot of like that slot corner position, which we'd love to see that alignment. So we're going to go with Amadi. I'm going with Amadi and Belton here. I don't know, Eric, you got any different thoughts?
Yeah, it's Belton, like we talked earlier over Lake, but Lake and Amadi's pretty close, but I think I'm with you. I think I'd go Amadi. Yeah, I'd go Amadi against the better matchup.
Yeah, he's just been on fire the last few weeks. So play the hot hand.
How have you gone against Lake twice?
I know. He's been my guy all season long. So got a $2 super chat from William. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. We need to pick one of these players, Brian Branch, Sherwood, or McFadden. So McFadden is probably the odd man out for me here. I know Branch was kind of limited this week with practices, but he's going to play. So then it just kind of comes down to how do you feel about the linebacker versus defensive back here? And so the Jets are taking on, who do the Jets have this week, Eric? They got the Rams.
Yeah. It's kind of a neutral matchup, but I think I would go Sherwood over Branch. Branch is a little dinged up.
Is that, Eric, playing a linebacker over a defensive back kind of thought here?
That's mostly what it is. Plus the Branch being dinged up and Sherwood playing phenomenally the last couple months.
Yep. The Rams haven't been a great matchup for opposing linebackers, which worries me, but Sherwood has been almost kind of matchup proof this season. So I'm with you. I always try to pivot the linebacker over the defensive back, but man, Branch is just like one of those elite defensive backs that doesn't really. You're going to go Sherwood 100%?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Warner is sticking there at the end, but with his, he played great last week. Maybe he's starting to get healthy. I don't know if it was just the way it worked out. He hasn't been very productive the last several weeks before that, but
yeah, it was three down weeks, and then a lot of teams, benched him, and then he went off. Maybe he was pissed off that Campbell didn't play. He just kind of was like,
maybe I'd prefer Sherwood over him.
Super Saiyan.
They're close. I'd prefer Sherwood, I think, on that.
I'm with you here. I'm gonna pivot the linebacker. I'm gonna go Sherwood here. That Rams offense just is gonna, run a lot of plays, and that's just what we'd like to see out of our tackle opportunity. So, William, best of luck to you. Appreciate the super chat. We'll see you next week when we're answering your Week 17 questions. So, all right, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program, and we were just helping out Summer with her questions. She need one out of Jewel, Brooks, Fred Warner, McFadden, or Spillane. So some really good options here. Wow, this is pretty tough. We kind of were already talking a little bit about Fred Warner being banged up. Jordan Brooks has been the linebacker to roster for sure this season in Miami. They get San Francisco, which comes in kind of dinged up. Jewel has a fantastic matchup on paper, best linebacker or one of the better matchups for the season here. So Where are you feeling here, Eric? Where's your dart?
It is between Brooks and Jewell for me, and I think I would lean Brooks. Even with Jewell's matchup, I think I'd still lean Brooks. He's just got Anthony Walker next to him. Miami can score. I think they're going to be on the field. So,
yep. No, I'm with you 100%. Brooks was my target here. So, good luck to you, Summer. Hopefully it helps you out. Hopefully we'll see you back here in week 17. Got another super chat. Jeff wants to know, good morning. He's got Ernest Jones or Edgerrin Cooper this week. So I know the fun play would probably be Edgerrin Cooper, but the responsible play would be Ernest Jones pretty easily here. So
yes.
That Saints offense is going to be abysmal on Monday night. I just can't see them putting together any sustained drives. So Cooper is kind of out there for me. Ernest Jones has been getting it done all season on his 14th team that he's been on this season. So his closet looks probably like mine with the number of different jerseys he's got hanging up. So we're going to pretty safely here, Jeff, go with Ernest Jones. So appreciate the super chat. Best of luck to you. And let's see where we are here. So we got MNDSU has 2 points for a solo, 1 point for an assist, 5 for a sack. Parsons, Travion Walker, or Jeffrey Simmons. So Parsons does come in with a little injury designation, but it sounds like he's probably going to play. So I don't know if that skews you, but Parsons is my guy here if he's good to go.
Yeah, and I agree. It's not close for me, but it is a Sunday night game. So if you're concerned about it, I would maybe see who's out there that might play after, but it's the playoffs. So it kind of depends on your risk, but I would want Parsons out there.
Yep. Yeah. And so this might be, those situations if you're chasing points, for sure Parsons, but if you have, let's say we're playing really safe, we're favored to win, we got a comfortable kind of lead maybe after the Thursday and Saturday games. Eric, do you pivot to Walker or Simmons in this case? And if so, who would you pivot to?
It's a big enough gap to me that I'd prefer not to. I'd still want to stay with Parsons. Suppose if I had to, I'd rather pivot to Trevon Walker over Jeffrey Simmons. Although he's got a good matchup.
Yes, he does.
I would still prefer Trevon Walker on the edge against the Raiders.
Okay. And that's probably a good matchup too. I know that the Raiders offensive line isn't great. Simmons is going to for sure see a lot of Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson. So maybe, MDSU, if you're feeling pretty safe with your lead, if you got one, or feeling pretty comfortable with your matchup, maybe, you don't risk it with Parsons and pivot to one of the other two options. But if you're 50-50 chance or chasing, Parsons is definitely the answer there. So speaking of Raider Nation, and we just got a little icon here. So 1, 2, 3 scoring, need to flex 2 of these. And let's see if I can find. Oh, there's the rest of the question. 1, 2, 3 scoring, need to flex 2. Greenlaw, Cashman, Omar Spates, Matt Milano, James Williams, Jabril Peppers, Talanoa Hufanga, or Reed Blankenship. So Greenlaw is out for me. He was kind of dinged up after kind of pushing it back. He had a great first half, but just couldn't finish it. And we saw obviously the debacle in San Francisco with their linebacker core. Cashman isn't what he had been earlier, and gets a really poor matchup in Seattle. Omar Spates has been kind of meh there. Milano's dinged up. James Williams, we don't know his role. Peppers and Funga. Okay, so now that I've decimated those options, Eric, what are you thinking here?
I'm thinking Cashman as one of them, and then either Blankenship or Hufanga. Hufanga has a better matchup. I think I would go Hufanga and Cashman. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm liking Hufanga this week. He came back after he increased his snaps from to week 14 to 15. He played nearly 100% of snaps, so that's not going to be an issue. If Greenlaw is banged up, Hufanga might benefit from that. So I'm definitely with you. I'm going to go Cashman and Hufanga here for those two options. So best of luck to you, Nation. Z51 has a defensive back question. Sit two of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. So we need to sit two. So Eric, you get to sit one. I'll get to sit one.
I'll sit. Can I go first?
Yes, you
think
can.
The easier one. I'll sit Taylor.
Okay. And I'm going to sit Battle. Not quite playing 100% of snaps yet in that Cincinnati role. I know that's been well documented that he is slowly taking over, but poor matchup versus Cleveland. We don't know what Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to put out there for the Cleveland offense. So just too many question marks between snap share and opposing offenses for me. And those other options between Cross, Metellus, Belton, and Amadi are just too good. So nice job playing the waiver wire game there on that team for sure. Justin has a 3-point per sack, 2-point for tackle. So who do you prefer, Pete Werner in the flex or Bosa? Bosa comes in a little dinged up, questionable to play. And do they have a chance to make the playoffs still, Eric, or are they kind of
I don't think they're out of it yet.
eliminated?
I don't think they're eliminated yet. That division's not real strong. There's no clear front runner, I think they're 2 games out, so they still have a chance.
2 games out with 1 to go.
So there's a chance. I think it's hard to not start Bosa, but mostly because I'm not a big fan of Pete Werner. But with 2 points for a tackle versus just 3 for a sack, I'm kind of leaning.
I'm leaning Werner here.
If you just need the safe points, go Werner. And if you need a big home run, go with Bosa.
Yeah, I'm going Werner here pretty healthy, happily, because I think Green Bay is going to run the ball a ton. That you see that kind of the commitment to the run. Jacobs had the first 12 plays last week. He had touched the ball 9 times and scored. So I think game script, offensive flow. I think Werner, and especially with the 2 points per tackle, there's not that big of a bonus to get a sack, and Werner's going to pile up tackles more than Bosa is going to get sacks. So that's where I'm at, Justin. Best of luck to you. Should I be worried about Brian Branch's questionable status and swap him in for Belton? So this is a tough one for me. So I don't know if it's so much as a questionable about his health. I think it's more about a matchup thing for me. I can see Atlanta running more offensive plays than Chicago running offensive plays. And so does the opportunity for Belton to rack up more tackles against an Atlanta offense. I'm convinced Branch is going to play.
Fully healthy, I would still go with Branch over Belton. Okay. Questionable tag. He was limited on Friday. I think you're probably right. He's probably going to play. It's close. I would lean Branch. The only thing is Melifonwu was full, coming back from injury. So is there a chance that if Branch is dinged up, they limit his snaps? I would hope not. If he's going to play, he's going to play. Be my thought, but I would lean slightly Branch.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way too. I just trying to play devil's advocate here a little bit with that, and I understand where Michael's coming from with the question, but
definitely,
I think Belton probably has the higher ceiling, but also the lower floor here, and so Branch is probably the safer play. So if you need a home run, maybe Belton's your option, but if you just need some safe points from a very inconsistent position in IDP, then we're going to go with Brian Branch. Happy holidays, Kincaid or Ertz? Appreciate it, Roy. I'm going to go Kincaid here. Ertz was dinged up last week. Got knocked out of the game. I'm going to go with Kincaid here at the tight end position. Greenlaw or Hicks for Mr. King David here. I'm having a hard time trusting Greenlaw. I know that Hicks will be out there. Cincinnati runs a ton of plays. It's going to get a heavy tackle floor, I feel. So I'm gonna go with Jordan Hicks here pretty easily, playing 90% of snaps or more in his last 7 games. So
I agree.
Trevon Moehrig or Quentin Lake for Andrea here.
It is
Lake for me of those two.
Yeah.
Then he throws as a curveball and then throws in Kyle Duggar too.
Well, hopefully Duggar's healthy. He had limited practice, but
he's been limited since
ankle and an illness both.
So. Yeah.
But I think he's going to play, and I would go Duggar over those two. If it was just Lake and Moehrig, I think I would go Lake very slightly, but it's close, very close. But
yeah,
I would rather have Duggar than either two of those two.
Yep, I'm going to rank them Duggar, Lake, Moehrig there. Yep. So if there are 2 separate leagues that you're playing in, Lake for the first one, Duggar for the second one, and if it's all the same league, then it's going to be Duggar the whole way. So all right, we got next question is, we did this one, right? Yes, we did. Yep, that was part of an earlier question that got, so Desir take 6 points for a sack. There we go. 4 points for a defensive fumble, 3 spots for a forced fumble, 1 point for a tackle. Parsons, Bosa, Simmons, Buckner, Sherwood sit 2. So this is kind of a perfect big play scoring league here where you're kind of really putting an emphasis on your defensive line players. Should
we start with who we're definitely putting in? We're starting Parsons, I think. He was an illness too. 3, 4, 5. Apparently he was.
So there's 5 here. Yep. So there's 5 here, Eric. We got to sit 2.
Sit 2. I think I'm sitting Simmons. I prefer Buckner.
I'm probably going to lean to sit Bosa here just because that hip flexor oblique, I'm not sure how much he plays.
He looked pretty good last week. He didn't have a limited snap count or anything really more than normal. I think I'm sitting the 2 defensive tackles and going with Bosa, and Sherwood personally, but
is that because of the scoring format? San Francisco gets the Dolphins, who get the ball out pretty quickly. They might be kind of banged up.
Yeah,
they've been kind of a poor scoring team for opposing defensive linemen in the last 3. So,
I could see going Buckner over Bosa. Are you thinking Sherwood, Buckner, and Parsons? Is that what you were leaning towards?
I'm going to sit Simmons and Bosa of those 5.
Simmons and Bosa, yeah.
So I would go Parsons, Buckner, Sherwood.
And with only 1 point per tackle and 6 for sack, do we sit Sherwood? I think I would still start Sherwood. Yeah, I'd sit. I agree with you, Bosa and Simmons. You convinced me, Jeff. Right. That's a tough one. It's a good question.
Yeah, that is. Love those questions where we have the multiple layers to that. So Ari has Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts custom scoring where sacks are -5. So I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts here. I just think that he has a better chance to score more points. He's going to get that push touchdown for sure. I'm going to go Hurts here over Jaden Daniels.
I agree.
Nick Cross or Ugo Amadi?
I think I'd still
I'm
go
going
Nick
Cross
Cross.
here.
Yeah.
Yep. Best of luck to MSD. Appreciate the questions today. War Clouds, Foya, Luakan, Sherwood, Luvu, Spillane, Jewel need 3 points for a bonus of 10 combined tackles. So here we go, Eric. Who of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are most likely to jump to the 10-point bonus here for us?
I think that leaves Luvu out.
Definitely leaves him out.
Spillane hasn't really been hitting that mark here recently. So it's between Foyer, Sherwood, and Jewel for me.
I'm going to go Sherwood and Jewel.
Yeah. It's close, but I think I'll agree with that.
All right.
The matchup against the Raiders isn't great for Foyer.
Yep.
For tackles,
Yep.
so.
Got another super chat that just chimed in here. We got Jeremy with a $5 super chat. Appreciate that, Jeremy.
Awesome.
Big play scoring. Got to start 4 linebackers between these 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As much as I love Greenlaw, I can't start him my week 16 after playing only a half a game last week.
But Milano's in there too.
Yeah.
Is he healthy? I guess I would wait and see if is Milano, is he an early game? I know the 49ers are late, or the 4 or 3 p.m. games.
Buffalo is an early game today, so
yeah,
we'll know.
I guess I'd see if Milano's in. I would play him. If not, you'd start Greenlaw, I guess.
Yeah, so those would be our 2 pivots there. At safety, Ugo Amadi, Kyle Duggar, but I can play John Williams at safety. So, Jeremy, maybe this is a situation if you can play Williams at linebacker. If Baker is ruled out, if Murray is ruled out, then Williams becomes an option there for you at linebacker. If he's not, if he's only a defensive back eligible, then we're going to have to go with that. So,
and if it's, and I would rather have Amadi and Duggar than Williams.
Agree. Yeah. So our hiccup here, our hang up here is the Greenlaw Milano health situation. If Milano is ruled out, obviously Greenlaw is going to be the play there. But if Milano is suited up and playing, then we're going to go Milano over Greenlaw. And then if for some reason you can have that dual eligibility with Williams, and for some reason Baker and or Murray are ruled out, then I'm going to put John Williams ahead of those 2 guys at my linebacker spot. Is that how we're seeing it, Eric?
Yes.
Perfect. Excellent. And Drew, thanks. Appreciate the donation, the pass the hat. We'll take
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll have a question from Drew here coming up. So he's good for a question or 2 every week. So let's get back into the questions. Good morning, guys. Should I take a chance on Matt Judon with a good matchup, or with BJ Hill, Jalen Carter, or Keon White? Thanks.
I don't think I would go with Judon.
I don't think so. He's been a tough start every week for me in many leagues. I benched him and he finally got a sack. So I don't like him. I'm gonna start either like a Keon White. I know that Christian Barmore went on the PUP list this week, so he might see a little uptick in snaps there for him. Jalen Carter has been playing phenomenal. Washington is a great matchup for opposing defensive linemen. So I'm probably going to pivot to either I'll go Carter and White before I'll go Judon.
Yeah, and White has a tough matchup because he's probably not going to get a sack with Josh Allen. He's been really hard to sack this year. Seems like he just keeps getting better at that. But I still wouldn't want Judon. I would go with Carter, I think, over him.
Okay. All right. So best of luck to you, Kevin. Hopefully that helps you out. All right, Eric, we're about halfway through the show here. We're going to start rapid fire some of these questions. We're going to start to get caught up here a little bit. So appreciate the super chats for those of you chiming in. We've got Greenlaw, Hicks, or Lake at flex. So I'm probably going to go Hicks here.
Yep.
I like the linebacker options there. Lake, not in a great matchup. I've been drinking the water from the lake all year long. So you know what that means if I'm not starting them. Abdullah or Patrick Taylor. In a PPR, I'm going to go Abdullah just because of all the pass catching that he has. I'm not really sure on Patrick Taylor's role in that offense. He doesn't really seem like a Shanahan type guy. So Travion Walker, DeForest Buckner. Sebastian needs some upside this week, trying to hit the home run. Walker gets a nice matchup against the Raiders, maybe not playing a ton of snaps. And then Buckner gets a decent matchup versus Tennessee, who's been a pretty good matchup for opposing defensive line over the last 3 weeks. So I'm probably going to lean Buckner here.
Yep, agree.
Sebastian Odunze or Charbonnet in a PPR. With Ken Walker coming back, Charbonnet kind of slides back to that role. I'm going to go with the upside with Odunze. Benton or Duggar.
Belton? Does he mean Belton?
Belton, maybe Belton or Duggar. Yeah. So fantasy sports. Yeah, Belton. I'm assuming Belton because probably not Keanu Benton. We're having that conversation.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. If it's
thinking.
Keanu Benton over Duggar, we're going to go Duggar. But if it's Belton or Duggar, that's really close. That's really close for me this week.
I've still got Duggar over him just barely.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're right next to each other in my list.
Yeah. And I've got Belton about 4 or 5 spots higher than Duggar. But I couldn't blame you for that. Duggar save points, Belton probably home run.
Yep. I love this one. I'm actually going to go Grenard over Van Ginkel.
Yeah, this is a tough one. So Van Ginkel is just always the recipient of always the big plays. Grenard has been putting up a little bit better stats. So you got Grenard this week?
I think so. Yeah, it's again, it's close and tough, but I would go with Grenard.
Yeah. And I'm with you here too. I think he's much more efficient there. Happy holidays, Goff or Daniels. I'm going to go
Daniels
pretty heavily here for sure. So fantasy sports, I'm going to go Rashee White in a great matchup versus the Giants. I think they're going to be running the ball often. Ken Walker coming back off of injury always scares me with those guys.
Who is that? Is that Rashard White maybe for the Bucks?
Yeah.
The Bucks have the Cowboys, right?
Oh, is it the Cowboys? Yeah, I'm sorry, the Cowboys. Yeah, I was thinking last week. I'm still going to go White. I think that's a great matchup for him. They're going to I think it's going to be kind of a shootout game.
Yeah, it's a tough one. To me, it's with Rashard White, with Bucky Irving in the lineup too. It's just tough to know how they're going to dole out.
They've both been able to eat the last couple of weeks. There's a league I got to start both of them. So
yeah.
Guys coming back off of injury always kind of worry me a little bit. So here's a defensive question. We got Jewel Cashman or Alua Khan starting 1.
Jewel. It's close with Alua Khan, but I'd go Jewel.
And I'm gonna take Alua Khan here. I just think he has a good bounce back game. It's gonna be the Alua Khan that we all drafted him to be. Kyler or Jaden Daniels. I'm gonna go Jaden Daniels here. Still rushing upside. Kyler just hasn't looked the same this year. They really heavy running the ball. So King David wants to know Greenlaw, Hicks, or Lake. I'm still going Hicks. Hicks in the flex. Hey guys. Oh yeah. So our school did a fundraiser for beards for books. So I was rocking a full Paul Bunyan beard for many weeks, but the kids voted and I went with the cowboy mustache. So you can kind of see the remnants of that. So I don't know if the missus really likes it, but it's for the kids. So Yes, it's the old guy with the beard. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that. All right. League heavily juiced for cornerback scoring. Do I sit Jerome Baker, Frankie Louvu, or Caden Ellis to play Jameel Dean? So we got Dean kind of matching up this week against the Cowboys. It's kind of a nice matchup for opposing cornerbacks. I'm probably going to sit Louvu just because he hasn't performed very well over the last couple of weeks. He just kind of disappeared. He was the linebacker one there for a while and then just kind of like gone. But Jerome Baker might make our decision for us if he doesn't play, if he's not suiting up. Ellis and Dean are in for sure for me. And then it just comes down to Louvu or Baker. So, Eric, what's your flavor there?
I would probably stick with Louvu, even if Baker plays.
Okay. Yeah, so we're sitting Baker?
I think so. It's tough, though. It's between those two.
Yeah,
I think that's what I would do.
Appreciate this question, Scott. Hope you enjoyed the game last night. Simmons, Leonard Williams, McDonald, or Fisk here for our defensive line. I really like Simmons matchup.
Leonard Williams week, isn't it? Especially Simmons.
It is. Yeah. I like Simmons this week. His matchup is pretty juicy with Richardson and JT a bunch. It's a two spot here for us. Spillane, Nakobe Dean, Cashman, Demario Davis, Tyrese Knight, or Hicks. I'm going to go Nakobe Dean and Cashman.
I am going to go Dean and Spillane. But it's close.
So Dean's in there for sure. Good luck to you, Andrew. Appreciate the questions as always. Alec made it to the Super Bowl, Week 16 Super Bowl. Trying to decide who to start as my third defensive lineman, AJ Epinesa or Oliver. Should look elsewhere on the waiver wire. A very deep league, scoring 6 points for a sack, 2 points per yard sack, and 2.25 for a tackle. Without knowing the options on the waiver wire, Eric, do you have a preference on Oliver over?
I would play Oliver over Epinesa. Epinesa's been getting good snaps, but hasn't done a whole lot with them. So I think I'd go Oliver. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you with Oliver. I was just kind of looking at like they're both playing a good chunk of snaps. They're just not doing anything. He's just not really doing anything with them. And that plugging up the middle just seems like a great idea with Oliver there. So best of luck to you, Alec. If you do have some options on your waiver, you want to shoot them our way, we can definitely try to help you sort through that. Fantasy breakout, rank these linebackers: Ellis, Sherwood, David, Louvu. I would rank them just how you have them listed, actually, for this week.
I think.
And if you could probably flip-flop Sherwood, Ellis, David, Louvu, maybe I could be convinced of that.
Yeah, I've got Sherwood, David, Ellis.
Okay.
Louvu, yep.
Nolan Smith against Washington or Granderson versus Green Bay. Thank you and happy holidays for SRM.
It's Nolan Smith against Washington for me. Like you mentioned earlier, Granderson's, I don't know if he's going to have a lot of pass rushing options this week. I think Green Bay is going to be able to do what they want, get a lead and sit on it.
Yep. I'm with you. Nolan Smith is playing a heavy volume snap. So Alec has just kind of followed up here a little bit. He said that he already has Landry and Hayward. So Hayward had a pretty decent game yesterday for you. Didn't do anything crazy, but still gave you some points there. So it sounds like you already had a decent start there. Verse or Leonard Williams this week. I know that Williams has been playing on another level for Seattle. They do get the Vikings, which is a pretty decent matchup. And then the Rams take on the Jets, which isn't a great matchup. So I'm going to, as much as it pains me not to play an outside guy, I'm going to go with Leonard Williams here.
I'm still going to go Verse.
Liking that outside play, huh? Yep. SRM wants to know Omar Spates or Isaiah McDuffie. And I'm going to guess this is probably more to do with the injury. McDuffie is just a tough guy to start. He just doesn't go away. He only played 42% of snaps last week, so I'm going to go Spates here, I think.
Agreed.
Zadarius Smith or Brian Burns? I'm going Brian Burns in a great matchup.
Yep.
Dylan, playoff baby. Yes, sir. Full PPR, different league, 3 separate questions. Start one, RB, Abdullah, Madison, Spears, Odunze, and Strange. Start one, flex one. I'm going to go Abdullah as my running back, and I'm going to go Odunze as my flex. Tight end question, I'm going to go Strange over Henry. I think just heavy volume. He's just going to be peppered.
I think I'd still go Henry.
Missing 2 wide receivers.
Oh, it's against the Bills. Yeah, maybe I'd go Strange. It's tough.
And then I'm going to go one running back here. I'm going to go Kenneth Murray over Ford. I know Ford's going to get a lot of touches, but Walker's probably a guaranteed there. And then Ertz or Chig. I'm going to go Ertz over Chig, I think. We saw Josh Wiley play a lot of snaps last week for Tennessee, so I think that he's going to kind of eat into Chig's opportunity there. So best of luck to you, Dylan.
Ford over Murray personally, but other than that, I agree.
Okay. All right. There we go. There we go. Quincy's got starting 2 wide receivers, flex 1, Jennings, Debo, Thielen, and McMillan. I would probably go pick up Ford if he's on your waiver and put him in your flex spot. And then I'm probably going to go with Thielen because he's been a target monster there in Carolina. And then I think the squeaky wheel of Debo gets it done this week. They tried to get him the ball last week and they just couldn't do it. But I think with being down another running back position in Horrendo, I think that he's going to be the recipient there. So I'm going to go Debo, Thielen, and I'm going to go pick up Ford in my flex.
I would like to do Jennings and Debo, but I won't play. I don't like to do that.
Especially after Brock Purdy's 3 points last week. So.
Yeah, so it'd be Thielen, and I think I would go Jennings still. But yep, I could see Debo and Thielen too. And yes, right. I would pick up Ford.
Yep, I'm going Hawkinson here. Quincy over Strange. I think he's going to be a little bit more healthy to get it done. Michael's back with another question. Need one for a flex. Ernest Jones, Davis Gaither, or DeForest Buckner?
Ernest Jones for me.
Probably Ernest Jones. What's that?
Yep. Yep, I agree.
Start 3. Battle Belton, Hufanga, Lake, Peppers. So pick one you're not starting, Eric, and I'll pick the other one I'm not starting.
I'm not starting Peppers.
I'm not starting Battle. So we're going with Belton, Hufanga, and Lake. So championship week, Alexander Madison or Kendry Miller, PPR. I'm going to go Miller just for volume. He's probably going to be sure to get more touches than Madison is this week. All right. Appreciate it. That was a super deep question. Thanks, Connor. 2 questions, Cansey or Byron Young?
I think I'd go Byron Young.
I am too in this one. This is close for me. I like the matchup for Tampa, but yeah. And then as far as the linebackers go, it's going to be a tough one too, just because of the health of both of them. Kenneth Murray is one of those guys we don't have to see on practice all week long, but he's been kind of banged up. Obviously, Greenlaw is banged up. Maybe this decision is made for you if Murray in the early window is ruled out, and then it just becomes Greenlaw by default. But let's assume they both play. Eric,
if Murray starts, if Murray's playing, I'd put him in.
Yep, I agree. Yep. Zaylickers has 16 teams, IDP with 2 points for a tackle, 7.5 for a sack. Got to go with Diabate or James Williams if Murray is out. So,
yes, that's my answer to that. If Murray is out, James Williams, otherwise Diabate.
So how are you seeing this, Eric?
James, it's Diabate or James Williams if Murray is out, right?
If
I'm
Murray's
agreeing. If Murray is out at the 1 o'clock or noon game, I would put Williams in. If not, I got to go with Diabate. But right,
So
is that how you're reading
Murray,
it?
if he's playing, Murray, if he plays, if Murray's out, Diabate or James Williams? Are we going James Williams?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Sorry if I confused
Quincy,
that.
that's all right. That's right. Need to start two wide receivers, flex two. Debo, Jennings, Lamb, Mooney, Cup, String. I'm going Lamb for sure, Cup for sure, and a huge bounce back game. I'm going to stick with my Debo call. I think he bounces back, and then I'm going to go with probably Mooney here. Try to break up my lineup a little bit, not to start all the guys from the same team.
Yep.
Travis, start one. Tyrese Knight or Josie Jewell? Josie Jewell for me, playing 100% of snaps. Defensive back to start, Donovan Wilson or Will Harris this week. So
it's getting pretty deep.
It is.
I think
I don't mind the Will
probably
Harris call. He's been playing a lot of snaps. Green Bay is going to be ahead here. That might not be. Oh, and can we trust Wilson?
I think
in Dallas.
I think I'd go Donovan Wilson here. It's close though.
I think I'm with you here. Wilson might be intriguing if Kendricks is out, but there's a lot of if games there. I'm going to go here. Well, since they're both here, let's do this. Since if Kendricks is ruled out, I'm going to start Donovan Wilson. But if Kendricks plays, I'm going to pivot to Will Harris. Cowboys play the late game tonight. Harris plays Monday night, so you can always pivot to that. So he's got his built-in backup.
And I think I'm going Wilson either way. But
okay.
Swift
or Taylor. I'm going to go Swift here. I just don't know what Patrick Taylor's role is in that offense. So,
yep.
2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 3 flex. Holy goodness. My 2 wide receivers would be Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jacoby Myers.
Yep.
My 2 running backs would be Kyron and Bucky Irvin. And then I'm get to flex 3 more. Debo, Brian Robinson, and Kendry Miller. Are we going to go Dobbs?
Nope. That's where I see
instead
it.
Of Kendry? Dobbs instead of Miller? Okay. Whew.
That's a tough one. A lot going
on. Patrick's got Scary Terry, AJ Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., Jonathan Taylor need to start 2 half-point PPR. I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr. and Jonathan Taylor with these 2 of these 4.
How's AJ Brown's health?
Kind of dinged up.
Yeah. I think. I can see why he wants help. I'll go with what you said. I would rather have AJ Brown in there than. It depends on scoring a little bit. I think rather than Jonathan Taylor, I'd rather have AJ Brown personally. But
so AJ Brown, Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. The half-point PPR gave me a little pause with the receivers there. So, Paul, good morning. Thanks for the help. One question with some DBs. Need to sit one. Xavier Woods, Kyle Duggar, Jordan Battle, Dane Belton. I'm still going to sit Jordan Battle over those other 3 options.
Yeah.
Yep. Tua or May this week. Eric, do you have a strong preference? Either one of those 2 gents at quarterback?
Tua. That's tough. San Francisco's got, Buffalo's defensive backs have been riddled with injuries.
Do you think there's some garbage time potential for Drake May?
Yeah, there could be.
Yeah. I'm still with you with 2. I think
Yep.
it's going to be there. Quinn Williams is going to be on a snap count. Currently, I have Calais Campbell, but there are guys like Ed Oliver, Adam Butler, Grover Street, and the Philly defensive tackles available. Need to start one defensive tackle.
Ed Oliver.
Yeah. I definitely over Quinn Williams for sure. Quincy or Eric Wilson. So Drew's got a question here. Linebacker 1 for us. I'm a little biased, but my Green Bay homerism is saying Eric Wilson just with the snaps. I know we didn't get it done last week in the stat column, but he's on the field a lot. I don't necessarily like the Jets matchup versus the Rams this week as for linebackers. But
yeah, it's kind of middle of the road matchup. I think I'd still go Quincy Williams.
Okay. Probably if I thought with my head it would be Quincy Williams, but I'm thinking with my heart here a little bit too much. So
no, I have them. There's 3 players in between them on my list, so it's they're close.
So they're close.
Yeah, they're close.
Super close.
Yeah.
All right. Andrew has an assist in a tackle heavy league. So Jonathan Bullard or Adam Butler. So playing 2 very different positions. Is Bullard playing? Did he get ruled out?
I don't think he is.
I think Bullard got ruled out.
Oh, wait. Am I thinking of the wrong Bullard?
Bullard, defensive back for the Packers, got ruled out. So that one makes it pretty easy.
He's talking about a defensive tackle. It's a different
defense. Okay, so Jonathan Bullard is a defensive back for the Packers, but
also Vikings defensive tackle.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm probably gonna go Butler here. Butler's been playing a healthy amount of snaps for the Raiders. Yeah, especially with Crosby out, I think he's going to get a lot of snaps. He played really well the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to go Butler here pretty easily.
Yeah, Butler's got a little bit more competition, I think, in Minnesota.
Much more heavy rotation of snaps there.
Seems like all those guys play 40%.
Right.
Those guys in Minnesota.
Are you pivoting here to an Elijah Garcia or Evan Anderson over Butler, or is Butler pretty much the guy?
I
see it as pretty much as the guy. So
Yep.
All right. Best of luck to you this week, Andrew. Hopefully that helps you out. Ecto Cooler Jason is back. Love the show. We love having you on. I need 3 linebackers: Blaine Rosenboom, Masai, or Asa Knight, or Grant Stewart. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 linebackers there. Need to sit 2.
I'm sitting Stewart and
I'm sitting
Pomazal.
Stirred. Yep. And then 2 safeties here of the 3, Cross, Morrig, Belton. I'm sitting Morrig. I'm going to play Cross and Belton. There's our boy Jake. Jake will be on next week helping us out with the start sit. Jake's tackle heavy: Ugo Amadi, Dane Belton, Kevin Byard, or Grant Delpit. Need to sit 1. This is my bias coming through, but Grant Delpit just hasn't been what everyone wants him to be. He's just really low tackle floor each week. I know that he just doesn't seem to get it done.
He's got a great matchup this week against the Bengals.
He does.
But I could get on board with Amadi, Belton, and Byard. I have Byard ahead of Delpit.
Yeah, I like the first 3, Jake. I think we're going to go with Amadi, Belton, and Byard. Hopefully that helps you, and hopefully you don't get mad at us next week and not show up. So hopefully we set you straight. Blankenship or Delpit. I'm going to go Delpit in this one. Blankenship just has been kind of poopy lately, so not been getting it done. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Hopefully that helps you out. Micah, Rousseau, Kingsley, pick 2. I'm going to go with the first 2 pretty easy here, Drew. Micah and Rousseau. Great matchups. Don't sit your studs.
Very
Are we
easily.
starting
King.
Witherspoon or Evan Williams?
I assume it's Devin Witherspoon
Yeah.
and not Akello. I would
That's
say Devin Witherspoon. It's tough though.
We got Seattle gets Minnesota. They have not been kind to defensive backs in the last 3 games.
Yeah,
but that Saints offense is going to be ugly too. So I'm going to go Witherspoon in that one. Good call. Connor, listening to your chat on Branch, I have him starting. Would you start McKinney or TK over him? McKinney, again, there's that bad matchup. I'm probably not. I'm going to probably stick with Branch.
Yep.
Don't overthink it, Connor. Jordan Lewis or Cambridge Taylor this week. I'm going to go. Jordan Lewis is for the.
I think I'd go Jordan
Cowboys,
Lewis.
right?
Yeah, he's playing the Bucks.
He's questionable coming in. Got an elbow. Limited practices this week. Curious though, that Cleveland offense is going to be something, with Dorian Thompson-Robinson under center. So, Cambridge Taylor has been playing pretty well. I'm probably going to lean Cambridge Taylor here just for safety of play.
Trying to look up the Bengals practice chart here. Well, what am I thinking? Not the Bengals, Cowboys.
I'm going to go Cambridge Taylor here, Underworld. A better outcome with him starting than Jordan Lewis, I think.
Yeah. Fully healthy, I would definitely go Lewis. Elbow concerns me a little.
Okay. Yep. Travis, start Donovan Wilson, Delpit, or Hufanga. Pick 2. All have great matchups. I'm going to go with the bookends here. I'm going to go Donovan Wilson and Hufanga over Delpit.
I'd go Delpit and Hufanga.
Okay. Good luck to you, Travis. Thanks for the questions on the confusion hotline. Real Guru, Kendricks listed as questionable, only got 6 from TJ and Will Anderson. Need 2 of Sherwood, Cashman, and Kendricks. 1 point for a tackle, 4 for a sack. Sherwood is for sure the play here. I can't risk Kendricks not playing or playing limited snaps, so I'm gonna just play it safe here. I know you're looking for upside, Real Guru, with chasing after only getting 6 from TJ and Will Anderson, but you can't take any more low numbers if Kendricks doesn't play. So I'm gonna go Sherwood and Cashman here.
Yeah, I agree. If I knew Kendricks was going to play, for sure, I would play him over Cashman, but the risk is too great, I think. Unless you've dug yourself a hole that you definitely need to get out of, but yeah, Sherwood and Cashman.
Yeah. Yep. Max needs to know Cook, Dowdle, or Neighbors. I don't know if that's Brandon Cook, James Cook, Delvin Cook. I'm gonna say if it's James Cook is probably my start there. If it's Brandon Cook, I'm probably gonna go Dowdle there.
Yep.
Good morning, guys. Best of luck in the semis. Yes, same to you. Thanks for bringing it every week. Till next year, we appreciate it, Drew. Thanks for being on every week. It's been awesome. If you lose this week, no, you're not going to lose. Positive thoughts. Speak it into existence. I can play Williams at both linebacker and safety. So Jeremy had the question earlier about let's see, where did this question go?
I'd play Williams at linebacker then.
Yes. Yep. So I think we kind of talked about it a little bit in length here about options there. Where did your question go here? I got to get better about being able to search questions. But yeah, so if Murray is out, Murray and or Baker is out, I think Williams becomes an auto start for you at linebacker there, Jeremy. So
Jeff, it's the bright green one.
it's the bright green one. Oh, the bright green super chat. Sorry. That's why I wasn't looking for it. I was like, that was too obvious, right? It's like the highlighted notes in your book. You're like, you don't look at that. Yeah. So we were kind of looking at the Greenlaw Milano, not sharing what to do there. And so if one of the two between Baker or Murray are ruled out, then Williams slides into my linebacker spot, and we're starting Williams, Roseboom, Davis, and Lloyd there over the two questionable marks of Greenlaw Milano. Is that where we're at?
I think so. Yeah.
Or yeah. So
Williams, you have to make a decision on at noon also, right? So you'll know.
You will know about Milano for sure. So
you'll know about.
Yeah, we'll know about Milano and the Tennessee.
Right, that's what I'm getting at. You'll know about the Tennessee situation too. And
a little bit of clarity, clear as mud. Yeah. So, Lucas, BJ Hill, Yatir Gross Matos, or Adam Butler as a DL3 this week. So, Gross Matos has been playing really, really well as of late, but Butler has been kind of sneaky good here too. So, is there a name that jumps out to you here, Eric, or you're just going to play the hot hand in Butler?
Gosh, is BJ Hill healthy? Seems like all those guys are hurt on that team.
Yes. Yeah, they got to look at their trainer.
Yeah, he's been. Seems like he's been playing pretty well. If healthy, I think I would. I'm efforting.
Yeah. I'm going to go Adam Butler here. I'm just going to play the hot hand. He's been playing really well. So, Eric, we got about 10 minutes left on the show here today before we're gonna sign off here. About 13 minutes here. So let's go rapid fire. Let's get some questions here. Need to start Belton or Branch this week. Eric, who you
got? Branch.
Yep, Branch for a safe floor. If you need a home run, we're going to go Belton. Second question, need three of these linebackers, Luvu, Jewel, Bond, or Ernest Jones. I'm sitting Luvu of those three. Yep.
I like it when
Garrett
we
Wilson,
say it in
T. Higgins. Yeah, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, or McLaurin. I'm going to go Higgins there. I think he gets a better chance to score over McLaurin. Harrison Smith, Kenny Moore, Duggar, or Chin. Pick one.
Duggar.
Duggar's probably the healthiest of the crew. Appreciate the comment. We appreciate the questions each and every week. So good luck to you. And we're gonna go Kyle Duggar there. Patrick Taylor, Kendry like.
Kendry.
Which of these guys would you start in a tackle heavy? McFadden, Kendricks, Branch, Demario Davis, Delpit, Davis Gaither, Duggar, Belton. Only need one. It's a standard league and 2 IDP slots. I have Bond. I'm probably going to go to Demario Davis, just game scripting. That game could be run heavy.
Good point. Yep, like it.
I'm going to go to Demario Davis there. Rich has Fred Warner, TJ Edwards, Davis Gaither, Dean, Spillane, sit one.
Davis Gaither, I'd sit.
Yep, that's where I'm at too. So I think that's the follow-up there, the sit one. Ridley, Shakir, Metcalf need one in a 1-point PPR. I'm going to go Shakir. Just been heavily targeted he's been the safety blanket for Josh Allen. Patrick Taylor, Kendry Miller, or Tajay Spears. I'm going to go Kendry Miller here. That we just answered that one. I'm going to get Carly at the casino. That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. I'll stay away. 1, 2, 3 scoring. Ashawn Robinson with a knee injury. If you can't go, would you replace him with Vita Vea, Calais Campbell, or Son Reddick?
Reddick.
Yep. Yeah, just a higher opportunity for snacks there playing on the outside. I need one at a linebacker. Eric Wilson, Mafau. Yep. Yeah, him. We're going to go with
Eric Wilson.
Yeah. We're going to go with the guy. I'm going to go with the guy in the middle, Mafau, playing linebacker for Dallas, especially. There's a chance with Kendricks not being there, he's going to eat. So good luck to you, Jeremy.
You'll know because Wilson's Monday night. So if
Monday
Kendricks
night, yep.
plays, I would go with Wilson. If he doesn't, I would go with Leofau.
Yep. So Drew hit it right on the head too. He was thinking the same thoughts as we are. Yeah, and that one's in Dynasty. I have Quay Walker to drop in the process. Whew, that's a tough drop in a Dynasty league. I'd try to figure out a way to not do that. Hurts, Daniels, Darnold, sit one.
Darnold.
I'm going to sit Darnold. He's probably the most likely to turn back into a pumpkin. Andrew's follow-up on an earlier question, Butler or Bullard? Sanders in New Orleans is available.
He was pretty sexy running that touchdown back.
Yeah, we always like when the big boys run him back. So
I think it's still Butler.
I do too. Yeah, can't chase last week's points. BJ Lemnard Wilson. I'm assuming that's Leonard Wilson. Ashawn Robinson or Kobe Turner, balance scoring, pick one. With Robinson's questionable tag, it leaves him out. I'm either going to go, I think Kobe Turner, I think this week. I like that matchup versus the.
I think I'd go with Leonard Williams.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, BJ. We couldn't come to a consensus on that. Jake has Josh Hines Allen or Josh Sweat. It's Josh Hines Allen every week for me. Sweat just hasn't been doing it. McLaurin or Aaron Jones this week. Probably going to lean. I'm going to go guaranteed touches. I'm going to go Aaron Jones. He's going to get in the end zone again.
Yep, I agree with that.
Will, in a scoring format that rewards big plays, would you start Leonard Williams, Calais Campbell, or Keon White? I think of those three, I'm going to go Leonard Williams.
Yep.
Okay, on the waiver wire, Kenny Clark, Kwity Paye, Yaya Diaby, Clowney, Fisk, which for a DL3. So he had a question earlier about playing some guys, and we asked about some waiver wire options. I love me some Kwity Paye and Diaby on that list. Those are some pretty nice names. I'm probably going to lean Kwity Paye actually in a great matchup versus Tennessee. They've got kind of a turnstile offensive line. Pretty good opportunity there to pick up some plays. And Tennessee has been the meme machine when it comes to their quarterback play this season.
Yep, I agree.
Got it. Good luck to you, Alec. Appreciate the question and follow-up. Sorry it took so long to get back to you on that one. JP, please pick one for my IDP flex. Hicks, Edmonds, Eric Wilson, Anthony Walker, or Kyle Duggar. Thanks again. You are welcome. This is actually pretty easy for me. I'm probably going to go Jordan Hicks here. Playing that linebacker role, guaranteed snaps. Playing against a heavy volume with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Ben, he needs to start one, pick two, and flex four. I didn't start Brandon Jones. Yeah, I'm projected to trail a bit. I need to start Delpit or Xavier Woods in the defensive back spot. I like Xavier Woods this week against Arizona. I think that's going to be a nice matchup for him.
I'm leaning Delpit slightly.
I just can't get behind Delpit. He just doesn't do anything. It's like that meme where the guy with the stick, do something. BJ wants to rank. Please rank Luvu, Lafau. I looked this guy's name up like 9 times, and I even had it like phonetically broken down when I do my show. So Lafau, Anthony Walker, Cooper DeJean, balance scoring. I'm going to go with the guy who can't pronounce his name, Lafau. Martise Luafau. Yeah, there we go. Then I'm going to go Luvu, DeJean, and Walker.
Sure. Yep. If you have kick return points, especially, I know Britton Covey's out again this week, so for the punts.
Judy or Wendell Robinson. Again, we don't know what that offense is going to look like with Dorian Robinson-Thomas or Thomas Robinson under center, but I still got to think they're going to force feed the ball to Judy.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Stewart Kendricks or Jordan Brooks, 2 points for a tackle. Chris, I'm going Jordan Brooks.
Yeah.
8 days a week.
Yep.
8 days a week here, sir. Mabuzi, happy holidays. Love the show. Need help pick one for a flex. Landman, Jair, Fowler, or Savage. I'm leaning Jair Brown here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best of luck to you, Mabuzi. James Williams has linebacker designation in Yahoo. If Murray or Baker are out, would you start him over Kobe Bryant, Will Harris, and Worley? Yes. Yes, I would.
Yep.
Lou Jr.
Agree.
Yeah. Yep. Need one linebacker, Osaw, or one of the two linebackers in
the mouse man.
Yep. Hines Allen or Sweat for Jacob. I'm going to go Hines Allen here.
No matter which Sweat it is.
No, yeah. Which defense do we start? Eagles, Bengals, or Raiders this week? Scoring is boosted compared to a standard. You got a sack for 2, interceptions for 3, fumble recoveries for 2, safety and blocks are 4 points each. So we got the Eagles are going up against the Commanders, which is kind of an explosive offense. We have the Bengals going up against who knows what they're going to be in Cleveland, but Cincinnati doesn't have a great defense, or the Raiders going up against the
Jaguars.
The Jaguars, which is nothing. I'm probably going to go the Bengals here just for.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
How bad their defense has been, but I agree with you. I was thinking the same.
Yeah, especially with that scoring, there's probably a lot of chance. I mean, they're all kinds of banged up. No Nick Chubb. They're on their 3rd quarterback of the season. So, yeah. Sometimes we're splitting hairs with start sits, but we've got to just pick and pray, right, fellas? That's absolutely right. You know, we talk about it all the time, like how the regular season is a lot more skill. You're sitting your guys in the starting lineup, getting it there. And then we get to the playoffs, it's just kind of, you know, it's a 3-week lottery ticket for some of us. And we just got to go with the best things that got us here and hope it plays out. Roguru's got James Williams, Edgerrin Cooper, Eric Wilson. Please pick one. Need a big swing here. So if I need a big swing, I'm hoping that one of the 2 guys in Tennessee is out and James Williams can be my start. I'm really worried about that New Orleans offense on Monday night with Cooper and Wilson there. So I'm going to go, hopefully, Roguru, that one of those 2 guys is out and James Williams can be your start. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. Thank you to everyone who's listening. Happy holidays. Yes, Roguru, same to you.
Hey, Jeff, if Williams doesn't get the start, if they're healthy enough that he doesn't get the start,
yep,
you would take Wilson over Cooper. Is that right? Or the other way?
Well, if I need a big swing, I'm going Cooper because he's going to be the big play splash guy. So if Baker or Murray are out, Williams is my call. But if both of them are active, I'm going to go Cooper just with the home run possibility of a sack, or you know, he's got that pedigree of player. Wilson is just going to be a high floor guy, I think. So yeah, Ben, he's on board with us too with Wendell. Yep, I like that call a lot. Yep. Thanks a bunch. Good luck to your matchups. Happy holidays. That will do it. So we appreciate everyone that's jumped on all season long, kind of in here. It's week 16. We know that many leagues are pretty much done, and we're still at 200 plus views. Got a ton of questions today, both IDP and offensive questions. We'd love to see that. We got some super chats today, so we appreciate all of you all season long. Hopefully we got you set up. We're going to see you back here again on week 17 with the championships. Rich has got one last question here. Thinking about playing Simmons over Burns. Burns banged up. I need a floor with TJ putting up only 5 points. So I'm still going to go Burns here. I think just the upside play there. The Falcons are been a pretty decent team to opposing defensive linemen the last couple of weeks. Rookie quarterback. I like that play. I don't know, Eric. What do you think?
Yeah, I still like Burns. Yeah, I can see what he's thinking, but
yep, totally agree. Burns. So, well, Eric, we appreciate you coming on multiple times this season and helping us out. Happy holidays to you and your family. Hopefully everything is going well. I love the hat, by the way. The
Yard Goats.
Yes, I was one of my minor league teams growing when we had the boys were playing Little League. We got 2 last questions, so we'll get these in and we'll head out here. Jonathan, Lake or Belton, Kendricks or ADVG? Is this all one? Oh, splitting between.
Kendricks
okay, so
first.
who you got, Lake or Belton?
Belton.
Belton. Yep, same here. Kendricks or ADG or Spillane?
I guess ADG, because we don't know if Kendricks is. We think he's going to play, but
yeah, I'm probably going to go Spillane there. I think
Spillane. Oh yes, Spillane. Sorry,
yeah,
missed that part.
And then Hines, Ward, or Rousseau. I'm going to go Rousseau here pretty easily. I think he's got a great matchup this week. So
yeah,
appreciate that, Rich. We're gonna hang that in the Louvre, so we appreciate that. So with that said, we are gonna head on out. It does just say Jerome Baker is out. Just got a Adam Schefter tweet that Baker is out, so get James Williams in your lineup. Yes. So all those questions about Jerome Baker, all those questions about James Williams has been, always will be. So we appreciate all of you. Have a great week 16. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff, and hopefully we'll see you back here in week 17. Have a great week.